good evening. Hope everyone, or I should say good afternoon, actually. What's up, everybody? Good to see y'all. Let me go ahead and get up my stream here, and then we'll go ahead and get started. I just need to finish setting up here. But yeah, hope everyone's having a good day. So we have a bit of an update here for you guys on the tropics and just general, uh, weather across the country and stuff like that. So we're gonna get right on into it, my friends. So, what's up, Viper? Good to see ya. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going good for you. We'll give it a second here for people to join in. It takes a minute for people to hop on in. But we got some updates for y'all on the tropics and stuff. Nah, tabletop. Don't worry about it. You're worried about everything, dude. It's all right. This is not going to be a problem for anywhere near you. There is still a lot of uncertainty, though, with this system, but we do have some new information. We'll look at the new models and all that stuff. We'll talk about everything. So, anyways, good to see you guys. So, let's go ahead and dive on into it. So, we now have just the one system in the Atlantic that we're watching out here in the Caribbean Sea. So this now has an 80% chance of overall formation here from the Hurricane Center. So throughout the next 7 days, there is an 80% chance of development. Here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can probably see that a little bit better. But yeah, 80% chance of overall formation now in the next 7 days, possibly becoming a depression, tropical storm. So we'll have to look out for it. Through the next 48 hours, next 2 days, we have a 50% chance. So it's kind of a half-half chance of development in the next 48 hours. So it's definitely possible. We'll just have to see. Chris coming in with the $10 super chat again, man. Thank you so much, Chris. Chris, you're awesome, dude. Thank you so much for that. That is really, really nice. Y'all, please give a big shout out or a big thank you. Shout out, nice. Big thank you to Chris for the support. This is actually the second time in a row he supported us. Thank you so much, dude. That's greatly appreciated. Huge thanks goes to you, Chris. Really, really appreciate that. Viper says, I'm doing all right. Just busy start of the week. Yeah, I hear you. I'm glad you're doing good. That's all that matters. What's up, Emmanuel? Good to see you. About to go cut the grass for one last time this year. I hear you. Yeah, it's been slowing down even in Florida. We just haven't been seeing that much rain lately. Things have finally calmed down quite a bit. But anyways, once again, Chris, thank you so much, dude. Greatly, greatly appreciated. So yeah, overall 80% chance of development here in the next 7 days, 50% chance in the next 48 hours. So it's definitely increasing. We also have a system out here in the Eastern Pacific, 50% chance overall formation with the system. It's kind of a half-half chance as of right now. And then, of course, throughout the next 48 hours, we have a 10% chance. So really not a lot with that one. We're probably not going to talk about this one too much, but the one in the Caribbean, that's kind of where we got to look out for. That's, where all of our eyes need to be over the next couple of days. So, all right, let's go ahead and take a look here at the satellite imagery. I do want to bring you guys over here, or actually I'll bring it over here to you guys. The information on 98L. We got new models, stuff like that. So here is the satellite imagery as of now. You can obviously see we do have some pretty decent convection going on here. It's still semi-disorganized. I mean, you can see it's not, perfectly in one central bubble yet, but, we still got quite a bit of convection. You can actually see off to the west here. You can see we do have still a bit of disorganization going on. Now, if you look closely, and I mentioned this here yesterday, if you look at this part right here, you can actually see two different types of movement. In the lower atmosphere, you can see the winds going this way, going to the west, part of that counterclockwise circulation. And then, of course, you got the upper level venting. You can actually see some of those clouds moving pretty slow to the north. In which, that's that venting. So it's trying to get its structure together. It's definitely trying. We got some circulation already starting. It's not completely closed yet. It's not perfect. It has a lot of work to do still, but it's getting better. It's definitely better than it was yesterday. But anyway, so we got a little bit of work to do before this thing becomes a depression. And then once again, like I mentioned here, the Hurricane Center, they have it becoming a depression here probably within the next 3 days. So within the next 3 or so days, we'll probably have a depression out of this system here. Possibly even sooner. We'll just have to see what happens. I mean, the probability, there's still a bit of uncertainty as we're going to see here. But Anyways, but yeah, so that's satellite imagery here. Now I do want to hop over to models now. We're going to take a peek here at the main hurricane models, and yeah, look at the spread that we have. There still is quite a bit of disagreement here, as you can kind of tell. There's a huge spread. I do need my folks now out there by, Jamaica, Eastern Cuba, Dominican Republic, and Haiti. I do need my folks out there to be monitoring the situation pretty closely, be ready to, take action if the system becomes a big concern, which we'll definitely look out for. What's up, Roby? Good to see ya. Saying, man, the winds are crazy strong here in Southwest Missouri. Gotcha. Well, be careful out there. Yeah, I did see there was supposed to be some winds rolling through the region because of that high pressure that was building in. I think it might even be a new low that's trying to develop out there. Just a big pressure gradient over that way. But anyways, be careful out there. And but yeah, a lot of that's from that change in the pressure. Anyways, but yeah, back over here, like I said, there's just a bit of this disagreement. You got some models wanting to go west, some models, just pulling maybe towards Jamaica, and of course a couple other models kind of going up there by Haiti. A little bit more of a westerly movement since yesterday from what it looks like on the spaghetti models, but there's, just still so much uncertainty. I think a lot of the reason is because, the system really slows down, and whenever you have a slow moving system, it can be very difficult to track its direction. So that's why I believe that there is a lot of uncertainty here with the models as of right now. So now here's the intensity, same models, this is the hurricane models and everything. But yeah, you can see, right around this time, we are near tropical storm force winds. But remember, it's not completely closed circulation right now, so it's not a tropical storm. Even though it has some tropical storm wind speeds in it, it does not automatically mean it is a tropical storm. So we work our way down in time, so you can see the hours here. So 12 hours, 24 hours, 36, 48. So it looks like, we're going to be well within tropical storm standards. So at this point, yes, the system will likely become a tropical storm. We'll likely get our new name system in the Caribbean. However, there's not a whole lot of support for hurricane activity here. I mean, obviously, we do have a couple of models, kind of in the later part of the storm's life. Possibly of maybe getting into hurricane strength. It's just a little bit iffy. It's still, not really known too well, but at least majority of models do have this thing. Actually, most models, most of them definitely have the system becoming into tropical storm, which that means it will get a name. So now we do have some more models now. Here's the GEPS ensembles here. You can see the spaghetti, or the members here. They're all over the place. So this is kind of where we're at now, just west of the Antilles. In which system's just going to keep on moving west here. Then it's going to really slow down within the next few days. And you can see that there's just so much uncertainty here. Some of the models have it going really far west, even close out by the Yucatan. Some models have it going, like through. Cuba, out there kind of by Haiti, Dominican Republic. That's the most likely track, is that the system will likely pull to the north and, possibly bring some rainfall to the Caribbean islands out here. But, nothing's for sure as of right now, but we'll definitely watch it pretty closely. So that's the GEPS ensembles. Now here's the GEFS. This is a little bit more organized, as you can kind of tell. It's not as all over the place as, the I think it was the GDPS we looked at. That model definitely, the GEPS, sorry. That model is definitely more spread out than the GEFS is, as you can kind of see. Now, the GEFS is a little bit more compact, has a system pulling north, possibly impacting like Haiti, Dominican Republic, just east of Jamaica here. So we'll have to definitely just see what happens with the system. There is a lot of uncertainty still, of course. Like we mentioned, the low right now is located south of Puerto Rico, just kind of north of Aruba. So we'll definitely just keep an eye on it, and what we'll continue monitoring as it works its way to the west over the next few days. So as of right now, it's likely a bit of a summary. It's likely going to become a tropical storm here soon, probably within the next 2-3 days or so. It will likely get a new name, or it'll likely get a name. Hurricane, I mean, it's possible. It certainly is, but it's just a little bit hard to tell right now. It's a little early. just due to the fact that, there's a lot of disagreement still. We don't know where the system's going to go. We don't know how strong it's going to be. So there's just a lot of things that we need to kind of figure out here. So anyways, hopping on over here into the States now, just taking a look about a little bit of the general look of weather over the next few days here across the country. Today, we don't got any severe weather. Thankfully, all that's have moved offshore. We had that cold front that kind of rolled through here. Thankfully, that system has rolled through. We're not expecting any severe weather today, although these areas in the light green, a couple storms could be possible, like southern Florida. We've got a little patch out there by like southern Arkansas, another patch out by like South Dakota, Montana, a little bit of the Northeast here. We have a general thunderstorm risk here, which means, hey, a few booms of thunder possible, but nothing big, nothing severe. So today we're looking pretty good. Now tomorrow, kind of the same thing. We're not really expecting a whole lot of anything big tomorrow either. No severe weather. We do have a general thunderstorm risk here for the Ohio Valley, though, out there kind of by like Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, New York State. So yeah, we definitely do have a general thunderstorm risk here tomorrow. So a couple booms of thunder will be possible. Same thing along the western Gulf Coast out by coastal Texas, Louisiana, and southern Florida. So, a little bit of storm activity is possible there tomorrow. So now, moving the day after tomorrow, same thing, not any severe weather coming up here. We do have, 3 areas, once again, of general thunderstorm risks. Now, there has been a little bit of support here, in regards to maybe a system, new low that could develop here and possibly be something to monitor here. I don't know if it's still picking up on the GFS or not, but it has for at least a while. Yeah, so there's actually not one, but maybe 2 systems we need to look out for. The first system, it appears to be forming right around the 23rd, 24th. The reason I'm mentioning this is because it's actually been pretty consistent on the models. And you can actually see here, we do get that low that develops out by like, possibly Panhandle, Texas, out there near Oklahoma, stuff like that. What's up, Tank? Good to see you. So a possible low developing there, driving some rain. We'll just have to see what happens with that. But then, of course, we work away right around the 27th, 28th. I know this is getting a little bit far out there. This is 180 hours out. But, this has been pretty consistent, and that's really the only reason I'm mentioning this right now is because, we do have this low that's been pretty consistent in the models for the last couple of days. So it's worth bringing up at least. So we'll definitely see what happens. I mean, obviously the full picture is way too early to tell, but we could have some type of low maybe developing towards the Central Plains, another cold front trailing probably towards the later part of the month here. So we'll definitely keep an eye out there for it. Of course, then we got down here in the bottom right, that tropical system potentially. So we'll have to monitor that too. Also, it appears the Pacific Northwest, looks like we have a little bit of a snowstorm coming in for you guys here. Let's actually zoom that in a little bit here. We'll take a peek here at the northwestern U.S. Yeah, so according to the GFS here, you can see all that blue. That's all some snow. We got a band of moisture coming in here. It looks like right around the 24th. So this is about 4 days or so, 3.5 days or so. We get this band of moisture bringing some snow, for those upper elevations out there. Oregon, Washington, Idaho, like western Wyoming. Portions of like western Montana. You can see a lot of upper level snow across the Rockies here. So that is definitely, something that we're going to start probably seeing more and more of as the year goes on, as more cold air is starting to advance its way into the country. And of course, the lower the pressure, the cooler those temperatures are up there, in those upper elevations and stuff like that. So definitely a little bit more susceptible to snowfall, given that those temperatures are indeed cooler. But anyway, so that's that. Definitely wanted to mention that. Now, it's obviously too early to tell for totals and stuff like that, but we do have a little bit of winter weather being quite possible here overall. So anyway, so that's that. Here, let's actually take a look here at some of these warnings. I don't think. Do I have the winter ones on? I don't know if I do not. So let's go ahead and turn on our winter advisories and warnings. Let's see if they have anything already on this. We shall see if there's any. Oops. We shall see if there's any watches or any advisories or anything like that going on, which it actually looks like we do. Yeah, look at this. So we do have a couple winter weather advisories going on for central Idaho, western Montana. Got a little bit of activity there. I think that's that might be current. Here, let's take a look at the what is it? Precipitation type here. Yeah, so it actually looks like, well, that might be clutter, actually. The more I look at it, CC, it's good to check. Yeah, that might be clutter. Here, let's see what they say, actually, about this. Mostly cloudy until late afternoon, a 30% chance areas of rain and snow in the morning. Okay, so this is just a little bit of snow. Here, let's hop back to models here then, and we'll see if there's, here, we'll pull up the NAM here. Kind of more of a short range, higher res model. Yeah, I mean, so it looks like right about now we might have some type of snow going on up there. Anyways, but yeah, so the big stuff's going to be rolling in, you know, like we mentioned, probably right around the 23rd. We'll have that other band of moisture rolling through, probably driving a bit more snowfall and stuff like that. But anyways, folks, anyways, well, that's a bit of an update here for you guys. You know, on the weather. Just wanted to hop on here for a little bit with y'all. If y'all enjoyed, leave a like, hit that subscribe button. You know, if you have any questions, please, you know, please do not hesitate to ask. If you have any questions before I roll off, just let me know. If not, we'll probably head off here. We'll definitely do an evening update for you guys as well when we get new data, you know, new hurricane models and stuff like that. So, just, you know, I think we're gonna start doing these quick little updates like this. You know, just kind of a quick little YouTube short live just to give you guys general updates. Coverages, we'll hop on the big computer and we'll do our actual normal layout, and then you know, videos and stuff like that I'll also do on my big computer. So it's just, you know, these quick little updates. These are quick and easy to make. You know, I don't have to worry about making thumbnails or anything like that. Just point the camera, hit live, and go. That's what I like about this, is that it's pretty quick and easy on me to go live and stuff. But anyways, Anna says, thank you, Andrew. Yeah, of course, no problem, Anna. I got you. Of course. But anyways, folks, yeah, if you guys have any last questions before I roll off here, let me know. If y'all want me to go over anything again, just like I said, let me know. We're here for you guys. Just want to make sure you guys are you know, staying up to date, staying weather aware. That's all that matters, is that you guys are staying up to date and staying safe overall. So it looks like we do have a little bit of freeze watches. Yeah, these are pretty common this time of the year. As we, once again, start introducing a lot of cold air down in the country, things, you know, definitely start to cool down quite a bit here. What's going on? High surf advisory. Gotcha. Marine weather statements. I know eastern Florida has rip current statements going on here. Which is interesting. Yeah, definitely don't want to be out in that. The rip currents are not anything you want to mess around with here. But alrighty, everybody. Well, I think we're gonna roll off here real quick. I'm gonna check the waves. I'm actually curious to see what the waves look like out here. Wave heights. I mean, they're a little choppy out there. They're not anything, you know, super significant or anything like that. But those rip currents are still a bit of an issue, so just keep that in mind. But all right, everybody. Well, thank you all for joining. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Chris, once again, dude, thank you so much for the 10. I appreciate it if you're still here. Thank you, man. Greatly appreciated. You rock. And alrighty, everybody. Well, you guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you guys later on. Like I said, we'll go live again for you guys later this evening. So I'll be here to give you guys some more coverage and stuff like that. But alrighty, you guys take care. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, my friends. See ya later on.